All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for State of the Atmosphere. We got a couple of big time actors that passed away this week. Snow White is passing away quickly as it got beat at the box office this weekend by Jason Statham and The Working Man, and we got the Sweeney spot. All that and more tonight on State of the Atmosphere.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
All right, welcome aboard. It's time for State of the Atmosphere. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere. And as usual, I'm joined by children. Let's see. Who was that was in there, man?
Oh, that's Autumn, my granddaughter.
Okay, cool. How are you, John?
I'm doing good.
There she is. Hang on. There she disappears. She's the invisible girl. Look out. She disappears. Oh my gosh. And that, of course, your profile is right behind my camera, so I'm sitting here having to go around it to try and find the button. But anyway, how are you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good. Doing good.
And Knock, you're between conventions, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it was a great 4 days. Just completely cut off from the rest of the world. It's so good. Yeah. And then I get to do it for 3 more days this weekend. Got a lot of inspiration from those 4 days. That's for sure.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Well, you ready to show us what you got at that
Sure.
thing? You want me to go ahead and add it up here?
Did I not?
No, I'm just wondering if you're ready.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
Let's see. So I didn't take a whole lot of pictures now, but this was kind of the registration line to get our badge. Like I said, it was a 4-day event, so it started on Thursday. Unfortunately, for this one, they don't mail you your badge, unlike Awesome Con. So I already have my badge for Awesome Con.
Right.
But this one I had to. But luckily, Thursday was kind of the day they tacked on, so it was kind of a bonus day. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't actually as many people there as there was on, say, like Saturday, which I'll show you in a second. But so the first 2 days was so chill. Like there wasn't a lot of people that I was trying to get autographs for.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any, let's say, crazy headliners at this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, William Shatner's here every year. But other than that, there wasn't anything crazy. I'd say the other one would maybe that had a huge ass line was I don't know how you say his name, his last name. Princess Bride, Carrie Eulis,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had a really big line, but I guess he has some anxiety, and so he was one of the ones that's like behind the curtain.
I got you,
kind of thing. Okay. But yeah, this was just me like waiting in line. It was kind of weird because there's a VIP line, which is the one I was in, which only had one line. And then there was everybody else. So all those kiosks on the right side, or not kiosks, but the backdrops there you can see were all just the regular lines. And they were all done before we did. like I'm still sitting in the VIP line, still waiting for our stuff and our badge and everything. And they're already done. But they don't get to go in yet. So that was okay.
Yeah.
It opened at 9, and then we got in at 9:30, a half hour early, and then everyone else gets in at 10. So,
Yeah.
let's see here.
So what'd you see, man?
Yeah, the first day was pretty chill. I did a lot of side panels. I love doing the side panels at these things, and I plan to do more at the Awesome Con. But this is the kind of stuff that they showed. It was just there was a debate for this one, DC for the Marvel. I chose the DC side because they basically had us sit on two different sides of the room, and we did kind of a debate style. So that was pretty fun. Little events like that.
Yeah.
So this is the exhibit hall right here. From the there's a second floor which you can obviously look down from, where the food court, I guess you want to call it, is.
Right.
But you can see right in front of it is the photographs. So off to the left is where all the autograph signing is. This was Thursday, so there wasn't very many guests here that day.
Right.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mostly. Mostly Saturday and Sunday. And then I came back later that night, and this is what it looks like, completely empty. Because it closed at 8 o'clock, but there were still events going at 9, 10, 11, into the morning. But the exhibit itself was closed.
Right.
So I just thought that was kind of a cool picture. This one I went to, there was Delilah S. Dawson wrote a couple of Star Wars books, like Phasma. And I'm trying to think, there was one other that she did. So I went to one of her little sit downs, and then she passed this out. And I thought that was kind of cool. Apparently she's writing a Thor and Loki anthology.
Like the art on that one.
Yeah, she said apparently she can't announce this online, but what we do with this, we can do whatever we want with it after it leaves that room. So,
right,
kind of somewhat of an exclusive. So that was kind of cool.
That's very cool, man.
This is my attempt to sneak a shot of Martin Sheen, so I didn't have to pay for it. So nobody at me, but it wasn't a great picture, but I got a little snip. This is when I was in line for
blow it up and crop it. It might be okay.
Right. Yeah. Who was I getting? Gentleman from Psych.
Okay.
Dulé? I don't know how to say it. Dulé. I was in line for him and got his. This John was probably one of the bigger things that inspired me to do the D&D. And this was a live one that they did there for a couple hours. It was just a small little mini story. But they had a chick that I'm now simping for, Tabitha Lyons. You can look her up on YouTube. She's a cosplayer. She's from the UK. Her and her dad were here. She apparently not really her dad, but father figure that she's known since she was like 11. And they build they make foam swords for cosplaying and stuff like that.
Okay.
Different props. Yeah. Different props for that. But she's also a cosplayer. And so she was doing that here, but she joined this panel as like a celebrity guest. And all the way to the right, I haven't watched the show, so I don't even really know what the name is, but it's like on Netflix, I think, or something like that. It's like Hasbula Hotel or Hasbunit Hotel. I don't know. Don't at me. I don't know the name.
Tell me her name again. I'll look
Tabitha Lyons. Yeah, she's very gorgeous. I spoke to her several times throughout the weekend, including showing.
Oh my
her.
God!
Wow. Yeah. You could post her here if you want.
Yeah. Hang on, we'll switch real quick so these guys
ahead,
can see what she looks like. Hang on a second. My God, man, she
was doing the prop show. She showed up as April O'Neil.
Wow.
But yeah, she's
this girl.
She's very pretty. So she was there.
Yeah. Look at that friggin' cosplay of Wonder Woman, man. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah. Got it, man. She's gorgeous.
So so I spoke to her a couple of times through there. Then this actor is a voice actor from a show, something Hotel. Aspen Hotel. I knew John would recognize it. So like most of their voice actors were there. So they were a pretty hot ticket item. I'd never seen the animation show. So
Keely Chow is feeding the ducks. By the way, let's say hi to the chat real fast. Like we got Keely Chow in there. We've got the Penguin Master, Low Spec Linux Gaming. Ruben is with us tonight. What's going on, Ruben Christopher Hayes? Good to see you. And let's see who else is here. That looks like and of course the a wrench of wrenches. Vince Womack is with us.
Red.
British
What's up,
version of
Red?
Snarky J, huh? Okay, but yeah, Keely Chow sees something in her because he's feeding the ducks all of a sudden. Look out!
So yeah, I definitely am a new fan. So
Here's the link, guys, for her her website. So
but she
check that
does
out.
she apparently she does some D&D as well. So
Mhm.
they pulled her into this, and apparently she's part of a YouTube show
Mhm.
that does D&D. So that was pretty cool, and they had a cool adventure. It was cracking up the whole time. So that kind of part of that inspired me. Let's see, let me get back in here. This was another night, the 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's Jed when we need him? That's his
Right.
favorite thing ever. Right
So
there.
this was pretty cool. So we kind of went through the hit. There was a lot of these little side things. Like I said, this has become probably my favorite part of these cons is going to these little panels where they're just discussions. I guess they just put forth things to discuss, and they have like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
It's the same thing we do every week.
Pretty
It's
much
talking nerd shit, bro. That's what it is.
All it is, and it's become like. That's what I did for the first 2 days. Was I got one autographed on Thursday, Mick Foley, and then I got who I talked about Bo Nix with, which was really cool. Right. And then on Friday, I can't even remember. I think I only got 2 autographs on Friday, and that was it. Like I barely stood in line. I was mostly enjoying these.
Mm-hmm. Mick Foley went to the hospital this week.
Did he?
Yeah, he got in a car wreck, has a concussion.
Oh my god!
Damn!
Yikes! Good thing you saw him, bro.
Yeah, I got his
autograph. Been there this week.
Jesus. Yeah. I didn't stay too long for this because this was like at 10 o'clock at night. But I watched a little bit of their discussion for the Fantastic Four. This was like the last thing I did on Friday night, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then here we go. Vincent D'Onofrio.
Dude, I was so jealous when you sent this picture. I was like, wow, check this fool. He is hanging with the man.
Yeah.
And
if you notice behind him,
real
Joe,
quick, before you keep going, real quick, let me say this. Vincent has been around for a long time. I know most people your age know him from Criminal Intent, but me and John know him as Private Pile. When he was a very young man, he was in a movie called Full Metal Jacket. And wow, what a great actor. This guy can do anything. He's awesome. Go ahead, sir. Yes,
I don't know if you noticed behind him there, Joe, but that is John Carpenter behind him.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He got his hair cut off. Yep. That's my hero.
Doesn't look like a little pan anymore.
I don't know who Ed Boon is, but I don't recognize the name. I probably looked at the guest list 500 times. In between.
Colin says, "Dope."
Yep.
What's up?
This was Saturday. I did not do a whole lot on Saturday. I didn't. I think I got Vincent D'Onofrio's autograph first thing. Yeah. And then after that, I left the exhibit.
Okay.
Because this is the line that was going until around 3 or 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this all freaking day. And it was absolutely insane on Saturday. There was no reason. Even the little side panels that I've been going to, they had just full up of people. People were standing in them, like there just wasn't and there's usually a ton of seating, even in these side panels. So it was just a mess. So I didn't do a whole lot on Saturday just because of that. There was just not enough. There was no reason to. I don't understand what the hell they do at 4 o'clock on a Saturday coming here, and I don't know what they get out of it. It just seems weird to me.
Because look, the lines can be long at these things. So you're not going to see, but you come that late on a Saturday, you're not going to get like
I didn't get it.
Maybe.
That's fine. Like I said, the only autograph I was getting that day was Vincent D'Onofrio, so I didn't care about the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And then this was another thing. What got me into it? Now this is Critical Role. These are 2 of the members of Critical Role. One of them, Laurel Bailey, also voices Abby in Last of Us 2. But they also do their voices of their characters that they did in the first campaign of Vox Machina. So they were there as well. And they were doing their little background. And they're married.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I hadn't heard about Travis before this day. So that was really cool to
he does Thor in all the Marvel animated stuff.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I haven't watched any of that. So no, it was pretty cool listening to them and get to know them a little bit more. And of course, this was right before Vincent D'Onofrio's Q&A. So William Shatner was there, and it was funny. He had a long line of people to, get questioned and whatnot. He may have answered maybe 2 of them because he would go on these like philosophical rants, right? And just like he's high or something like that,
He's in his mid-90s, man.
He's just in storyteller mode, man.
Yeah,
He's just living it. It got to the point where he was kind of running over, and I guess like the attendants were trying to get his attention. He's like, "Oh, is it time for me to get off the stage now? Are you trying to kick me off? Is that what you get the hell off the stage? Is that what you're trying to say?"
When you're William Shatner, you got it like that, bro. You do.
So, but yeah, I was waiting for Vincent. That's what I was waiting in the main section.
Oh, check him out. He's living his best life.
Yeah.
Whoa, what adventure. How you doing?
Good. There was one moment. It was really funny. There was one moment where he was trying to talk, but he put the mic away from his face. And so and the crowd starts going, "Mike, microphone, Mike." And he's like, "Oh my God. All right. Sorry about that. I'm not trained to use a mic or something like that." So it's cracking me up.
Yeah.
So they discussed, he had a bunch of questions that he asked that got asked. And so it was pretty good.
What a great picture. Go back one. The banner. What a great picture on the left from Men in Black. That's I keep forgetting what was his character's name? Edgar.
Yeah. I think I have a story in here. It's a long story, but I think it's how he got the role.
Yeah.
So I'll have to play that for you sometimes so you can listen to it. But
do it.
And I didn't really do much else for the rest of the day. And so a buddy had come down. I had accidentally bought 2 tickets for this place, not even in the same section. And this is the Jurassic Park in concert that I did Saturday night. So You got the movie playing above it, and then you have the orchestra playing the soundtrack of Jurassic Park. So this was at a theater that was a mile away from the convention center. So I was like, dude, I'm already in Richmond. Let me go freaking see this thing. And I'm glad I did, because forget that place on Saturday.
Yeah, right.
So I got to watch this, and it was fantastic. If you guys ever say anything in concert, it's absolutely 100% worth it. So,
yeah, that's one thing you and I have in common, buddy. If it's a great soundtrack and great music, they need to do more events like this. I used to collect movie soundtracks when I was a kid. One of my favorites was Logan's Run, and that's definitely very cool. When you told me you're going to that Harry Potter movie and they were going to play the music with a symphony and everything, I was like, that's badass. Yes.
Yeah, I'm eagerly waiting a Star Wars one to pop up somewhere.
Oh God,
yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm sure I'll never get to see a John Williams actual in concert. I don't even know if he does them anymore, but
right.
That's definitely something I want to see is a Star Wars one someday. Maybe when I go down to Florida, Disney will have it or something like that. So, and then on Sunday, my last day there, Laura Bailey. I got some. She's really gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah. Then so I ended up getting my first set of dice that day, and then I ended up getting 2 sets of dice that day. So what I did, and let's see, I think they're near the end, but I stopped by here to see this guy.
Yeah, this little known dude, right?
I think, well, for me, he was the host of Fact or Fiction. That's where I know him from.
Yeah, I know you're not a Star Trek guy, so yeah, you wouldn't know him as. But look, he was the Captain Kirk of the crew of the Next Generation, is what he was. That's what they.
Yeah. So, and I plan to go through all the Star Trek. I am a Star Wars fan that has opened his mind to Star Trek, so I'm not as opposed to it as in my younger 20s.
Right.
But yeah, she's awesome. Anyways, and so that whole weekend, there was so much of D&D that it inspired me. I actually ended up ordering this on Sunday, and John told me to get it, and it came on Monday. I went through the rain to go to my parents' house, because I get all my stuff still shipped to my parents' house because I don't want it getting mailed to an apartment complex. Went to the rain to pick it up and brought it back, and then I got these.
Yeah, there you go.
And my first set on the right is blue because that's kind of my favorite color. They're the
Brocus
nice,
Cherry.
you know me, I like my pointy stuff.
Yes.
So they're very pointy. and metallic, because that's what John said to get metal. And the top one on the lid, it's got Laura Bailey. She signed my first set. And then because I told the guy when I was buying the dice I was looking at doing a barbarian class first. He said he recommended the barbarian dice. So these are also metal, but they got blood splatters on them. So naturally, I had to get the barbarian grog from Vox Machina, Travis Willingham. He signed the lid for the second one. In the top left, it says Rage.
Nice.
So that's that was that this whole weekend pretty much inspired me to do D&D. So now I've just been reaching out and going on Facebook and Reddit and stuff like that, and looking for D&D groups to join. So
very
it
cool.
was a lot of fun. Great weekend.
Well, man, that's awesome. I'm glad you had a good time, dude. It looks like you had a ball, and I love the Vincent D'Onofrio stuff. You're definitely gonna have to show me that later. But yeah, and you've got another one coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, a 3-day one this weekend. Yep, I'll be heading to work on Friday because it's actually north of me at DC, and I work north, so I'll go to work for a couple hours, and I'm gonna leave work, do a half day, and go right to the hotel, drop the car off, and head in the metro into town and get dropped off right there for that Friday. I don't know how much I'm going to do on Friday, but get settled for the weekend.
Okay, very cool, man. Well, thanks for the report from the geekdom. That was this was which
GalaxyCon.
one? GalaxyCon. That I figured as much with all the Star Trek.
I've already announced it for next year,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll be getting my tickets at some point. I'm sure.
And Real Wade Nation is here. What's going on? I'm sorry, man. My camera where it's sitting, sometimes I can't see what's behind there. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good. I'm just hanging out, watching storms.
Yeah, I've got them blowing through here too. Let's see who else has joined the chat. We've got I owe a couple of people some videos here because
you can skip
our man the poster child for getting here early has made it. So we got to play his introduction because if you read his moniker, you really don't know his name.
There are some who call me Tim.
Tim is here. He has joined us. And the guy that just came in, Real Wade, hit us with this one during it. So, every time I see him, we got to
say it right.
We got to do it, man. We got to do it.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
What'd you say? Wait, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I messed up
I don't mess anything up, pal.
It's a little blurry there.
My show. I can do what I want. Yeah, hang on. Let's see that real quick. This is
it's liquid core.
Liquid core. Oh,
it's got a metallic
20-sided die.
Yeah, it's 20-sider, but it's got a liquid center.
Wow.
Yeah, John, I'm on episode 7 of Critical Role, first campaign, and one of them had a dice that I guess when it rolls a natural 20, it glows.
Yeah,
wow,
it lights up like that. God, man, I got to get into one of these games, man. I'm pumped now.
I think it's like $60 or $70 for the set.
I don't care.
He doesn't care.
Who showed up? Merch Nation.
What's up, Jed?
Motherfucker, you're Merch Nation. Don't even start with me.
You missed it, dude.
What?
They did what is it? Is it 30 years?
So it was the 30-year anniversary panel for Mortal Kombat. And then there was another one. I forgot to mention there was another one. I didn't take a picture of the display. It was the 30-year anniversary of Xena.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
That was awesome. That was that was really cool. I stayed for the whole panel for that one. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Xena,
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to see the Mortal Kombat guys this Friday. So
yeah, he'll let us know about it during the end of the show when we do our promos. But yeah, he's got a video game convention there.
Video game, anime, comic book. Yeah. It's like all mixed in one. Yeah. And I'm probably going to have the Mortal Kombat guys on with me. So
very cool, man. Very cool. All right. Hopefully. Well, thank you for that report from GalaxyCon, man. It sounds like it was a lot of fun. Yeah, when you told me that William Shatner just went off on tangents and only answered 2 questions, that I was like, yeah, that's him, dude.
That's what Bill
being
does.
Will. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got it like that, man. Oh shit.
I remember when I was a kid, dude, people would ask him one question and it would take him about an hour to explain the whole question.
Right?
And then we're like, before I knew how he was, I'm like, and because I would stay with the other cast and they're like, does he do this all the time? They're like, yes.
Yes.
I was like, I can't imagine how the show's like. I'm like, yeah.
All right, boys and girls, it's time to move on to the pop culture update. So let's get to it.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
And we always start off with the box office receipts. And when I saw this weekend, guys, all I could do was laugh. A Working Man, starring Jason Statham. It's David Ayer's movie, the same guy that made Suicide Squad and his movie from last year, Beekeeper, beats Snow White at the box office by over $1 million in its second week. That's just amazing to me.
I didn't even realize it was from Amazon. That's interesting because that means that they probably didn't even need to release this.
They could have put it on streaming and they put it out anyway, and it still beat Disney's flagship title.
Yeah. And I want to
say second week.
I want to say one thing. Made by Chuck Dixon too.
Yes, Chuck Dixon, the comic book writer. It was his story that it's based on.
From his book.
Number 3 was Chosen, The Last Supper. That's the television series Chosen. I think this is part 1 of a 2-parter. I think it made 11 million. That Chosen series is making a lot of money when they put it in the theater. It's pretty cool. Very inspiring. The Woman in the Yard, which is a horror movie that's getting mixed reviews. Some people like it and some people don't. And Death of a Unicorn round out the top 5. But the story of the week was the fact that blue collar drama, A Working Man beats Snow White with a $15 million opening. Wow. Well, first of all, the fact that it's a Jason Statham movie that nobody expects to make a lot of money has outdone. We're getting conflicting reports of what the budget was for Snow White, anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000, or billion. I mean, 250 to 500. Million.
So they're this is, and it keeps going up. Mm-hmm. Because I talk with WD Pro and other guys in chat and in their chats all the time. They're saying they're in the hole right now. Mm-hmm. I think it was 300 to
I saw that number too. 300
to 400 million.
Yeah, with the when you count the promotional stuff and everything.
Because they coming out 3 parts every week.
Yeah.
What's that now? What'd you say?
The Chosen? That's coming out in 3 parts and every week.
Yeah, and it made $11 million. It's a popular Christian television show about Jesus. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm really waiting until it finishes its run. It's been on for a while. I think it's into its 4th season now, or it's got its 4th season coming up, something like that. So
20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Isn't it going back in theaters at some point?
I'm looking,
May?
April 25th.
April 25th.
Yeah, a couple of days before my birthday. Yeah.
Dude. That's right. I remember when I first saw that story because I sent it to my stepson, David, Rhonda's son, that lives in Maryland. And I said, look, if you want your daughter to see what it was like on the big screen, man, it's coming out. You need to take her to go see it because he loves the prequels. That was his thing when he was young. I think he's a little bit older than you, Knock. You're almost the same age, I believe. He was in Iraq when he went in military police corps. But I may have to buy a ticket to that and go see it because that's my favorite of the prequels. Even though what's funny about that one, guys, is I knew exactly what was going to happen. I had read this story when it was first published in a book, the outline of it anyway.
Yep.
When, in the space between Star Wars, and Empire Strikes Back, that 3-year period, they put out a lot of production stuff about Star Wars, and one of them had his outline for all 9 chapters that he had just taken A New Hope and made that one part because it was his favorite chapter of it, and because he didn't know how this was going to go over. They'd never done anything like this before for movies, so he didn't know if it was going to be successful or not. And wow, look, the trilogy that was supposed to come after Return of the Jedi was nothing like what Disney did.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
No, because they put a lot of that in Starlog and other things.
Right.
They even came out with a book that you could actually buy. I remember the little paperback book that he explained everything, and I still have that. It's in one of my boxes.
Yeah. The only I like the prequels. My only problem with it was the midichlorian thing. I didn't like that. I thought they shouldn't have done that.
I could live with it.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's just it kind of put too much science into the mythos. You know what I'm saying?
It took away from the mystery.
I can do that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But anyway, let's see. Vince says the prequels are popular in Japan. That's why Disney Star Wars didn't do that well over there. Hardly any connections between those trilogies. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the third one has barely anything to do with anything. I mean,
because some of Japan is based.
I mean, you would think they'd have more of a link to, the Skywalker legacy, but it's really Han Solo was the biggest link to it in the first chapter of it. And of course, Luke's in the second one, but they totally diss him in that one. And then the third one, it's all about Palpatine. I'm like, what are you doing?
I think it would have been different if Leia didn't die.
Yeah. Well,
no, it wouldn't, dude.
I don't think it would have been different.
No,
Disney doesn't know what the hell they're doing on half of this.
They haven't known what they've done since the fucking Catholic. But anyway,
their problems have been highlighted with this Snow White movie. Yeah. They definitely, this should be a wake up call for them.
And I want to say congratulations,
but it's not going to be. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, Chuck. He's got a back end deal with that. I saw him in an interview last week, and he the better that movie does, the more money he makes. So, and
there's
got a back end deal on it. So
there is a lot of us, and I'm actually going to try to go see it. I'm going to actually go try to see it at some point. And a lot of us are especially like Nick and a bunch of the other guys that we actually have talked to him before.
Mm-hmm.
We're pimping that out everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure.
We're because dude, he's a good.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
He's a good dude.
Next up, Jennifer Salke steps down as head of Amazon MGM Studios. Segues to producing with First Look Deal. First Look Deal, if you ever see that in one of these headlines, means you're out of here. You've been whacked. This chick, and a lot of people are thinking it's because of her handling of the Bond property that she's not handling that well, and
she screwed that up and other things. It wasn't
Bond. She was the one behind Lord of the Rings and all that stuff, and it's not going well.
And you know what my first reaction was when I saw this? She going to Disney.
No, who knows? I don't care. As long as she's not messing with James Bond, I'm good.
Yeah. Dude, they're gonna have to do some really like resuscitation on that, So
yeah. Stargate fans are celebrating especially. Are they doing a Stargate thing? The MJM Plus guys? Are they doing that?
No.
I haven't heard anything.
It's been on the rumor mill.
Dude, I agree with that. It's been rumored for
every year. There's always another.
Yeah, they're saying, they're going to bring the
movies, And
I even heard a rumor that they want to do a big series with SG1 cast, Atlantis cast, and some of the other assorted people over the year. And I'm like, that ain't
honestly, I wouldn't mind a reboot. I just
No!
want, like, how can you mess? Like, it's such a cool concept. You have a freaking gate that takes you to other planets. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's kind of like Doctor Who.
Itself. I mean,
I've never watched a single episode of the show, but the movie by Roland Emmerich with Kurt Russell and James Spader in it. It's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. I love that flick. And
Joe,
I hear you guys talk about Stargate all the time, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's something I'm going to look at down the road.
And here's the thing: the show picks up right after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it blends in seamlessly with the movie.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, so.
Very cool. All righty, let's see what we got next up. Oh yeah, Jed sent us this one. Protesters cover Looney Tunes building with signs to stop demolition. Not cool, Doc. I love that picture of Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
it's the single-story Looney Tunes building. They're gonna get rid of it, and it's on the old Warner lot, and apparently it's a landmark that a lot of people go to, and they're gonna get rid of it, and a lot of people are pissed about it
because the guy that's running Warner Brothers, he wants to get rid of, and he's like,
well, haven't they sold the property?
Not yet. Not yet. They haven't yet.
Yeah.
So
well, I think I saw Tom talking about it earlier this morning.
Yeah, and Tom's heartbroken over it, like I am.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, it's a piece of movie history. They should leave it alone.
Yeah,
it's a piece of history. Leave it alone. That's what I think. So, Wade must have dropped out.
Yeah, he needed to go because.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that back there. Sorry. Yeah. No. Okay. All right, Wade. Thanks for coming by, man. Sorry about that. Okay, so they got that. Now I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this one, starting with Knock, and let's hear about this because I know nothing about this character or what the games are like, but I know it's popular. I know my stepson David, and like I said, he's close to Knock's age, was a big fan of this game, and apparently there's live action film sets March at 2027 theatrical release from Sony Pictures. So that's pretty interesting, man. Knock, what do you think of this news? Sony Pictures that's been screwing up Spider-Man for so long. What do you think?
Well, I would say with Sony, at the very least, the production's not cheap.
No, it's not.
No,
that's for sure.
So I mean, I don't know. It just depends, man. This will, if they get Zendaya as Zelda, I'm gonna hate everything.
Yeah,
right,
dude.
I'm saying I don't need Zendaya in everything. So
right,
Z, they'll play the shit out of that.
Yeah, destroy the movie.
I don't know. I think if they can find the right Zelda, I'm praying that when this actually happens and they pick who Zelda is, we don't have idiots that are like, why are they making Zelda a chick? I hope that doesn't become a thing because the main character isn't a chick.
That's my problem with that.
I'm curious if there's gonna be people coming out of the woodwork that don't know video games at all.
Yeah,
right. Zelda, but what
I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead, Knock.
No, I'm just really curious to see who they're gonna get the cast this.
Yeah, and my thing on this is if they make it all about Zelda and not Link, because Link is actually the main character. Legend of Zelda is just the name.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do that, it's gonna fail.
Yeah,
it's gonna fail hard on its face.
Yeah, right.
Do not make it all about Zelda.
Yeah.
How many people are going to be doing fairy talk whenever Link shows up?
Yeah, and here's
like
another thing, and
something.
I brought this up, and multiple people have brought this up. Link doesn't talk. He doesn't talk that much. He does hum and other stuff later on in the later parts of the series. Because I played every single
Well, this
Every
sounds like the
single
perfect movie for Rachel Ziegler then.
Yeah, I know.
The man never talks, and it's only the
Yeah, he hasn't talked even in some of the newest games. He doesn't talk like but he did say some
he's
things.
the silent type.
Yeah, he's the silent type. So if I don't know how they're gonna do this, they should have picked Metroid first. Like,
I don't
You
know.
know.
This is the director of the film, guys. This is Wes Ball, and what he's known for is Kingdom of the Planet and the Maze Runner series. So
I like all of those movies.
yeah, I was fixing to say those are pretty good movies right there. So
see the first.
What's
Maze Runner-
and sorry, Jed, just real quick.
Go ahead.
What's interesting about this is those are all big world
Yeah.
movies, right?
Yeah.
Zelda is a massive world.
Yes.
So he will know how to utilize the world. I think. I feel like it, based on his experience with those kind of movies. Those are big, environments there. And Zelda is one of the biggest. That map, I have Zelda, the first one on the Switch and I've been too intimidated to play it, to be honest.
What, the very first Zelda?
Well, not the first Zelda, but the first one they put on Switch.
Okay, yeah.
The one before Tears of the Kingdom, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, because I've actually played it. I don't have a Switch, but I have a friend that when Zelda comes out and he gets done with it, he lets me borrow it, and I just play it through the day.
And I know people, those things are crazy big maps.
So dude. Even especially the very first Zelda, it was huge. The on the NES, because like I said, I've played each and every one of them. Dude, even the first map, you had, 8 or 9 dungeons, and then you had to do all this stuff. And this is just in 1985, okay?
yeah,
that you had 8 or 9 dungeons. You had to do all this stuff on the world, okay? And then I'll skip, like, you had to do a lot, then skip to Link to the Past.
Don't want to tell you again.
And it was just, it even got huger. Like, each game, Zelda got bigger and bigger, and like the original game and Link to the Past are my 2 favorite games.
yeah.
So
Well, I tell you, like Knock was saying about the director knowing how to deal with a big world building thing. The Maze Runner series, I've never watched them either, but I know there's a lot of fans of the books that enjoyed the movies. They did a good job on the movies, from what people that read the books have told me. Colin asks, whatever happened in the Maze Runner movies? Didn't the guy injure himself on set and they scrapped the rest? I'm not sure. I don't know. Hang on. You're muted, buddy.
You're muted there, John.
Yeah. I got you. Go ahead.
They did all the mainline books already.
Did they finish them all? Yeah.
Yeah, they got all
at least 3. I don't know whether that. But.
Yep. The sequels bombed harder than Japan. Oppenheimer. Yeah. Nice, Keely Chow. Nice. Yeah. But look, I know there's going to be a lot of people lining up to see the damn thing as long as they do it right. Now, let's see if they do. The way they've handled the Spider-Verse, I don't know, guys. Of course, I am a Spider-Man nut, so you can't take my opinion for this. I've enjoyed all the Spider-Man, no matter how bad they are. I've still enjoyed it because it's Spider-Man characters.
Well,
I liked Morbius. I liked Craven. I've never seen the Venom movies, but I was never a Venom fan. Okay, they're
not bad
my
popcorn
Spider-Man
movies.
I hear they're great. Look, I'm not radically opposed. I just didn't go see it because
that's because of Tom Hardy.
Yeah. But
Spider-Man 4 is already got a title.
Yeah, it does.
Well, Spider-Man's going to keep going.
Fuck that title. I hate that fucking title, dude.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
It comes from one of the worst runs of Spider-Man, which destroyed Spider-Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, fuck that title and fuck that book.
Yeah. Yes, I did like Morbius, believe it or not. I did like Morbius, but I'm a Spider-Man homer. I can't help it, dude. I love everything about him and the books, and I agree with you, Jed. It is from one of the worst. It was the follow-up to the worst.
Yeah.
It's called One More Day is the name of it, and it's what ended the marriage of Mary Jane.
Look at him. Keely's like, fuck one more
I
day.
never watched Craven yet. I still
Oh,
haven't watched
yeah.
it. The whole.
How you doing there, Janet? Good to see you.
Hey, Janet.
Yeah, I liked Craven too, Colin. I did. I thought
the
it was
whole
cool,
canceling of the Spider-Verse kind of.
Oh, okay. So I like Craven,
lost
but
my
they
interest in Craven.
Yeah.
I liked Craven, but there were some things that I would tweak to make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, absolutely. And
there were some things just like
it's not comic book accurate at all.
No, it
okay?
isn't.
It's not. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's kind of like how Daredevil was last night, where I'm like, what the fuck?
I haven't watched Daredevil. We're not talking Daredevil tonight.
Okay.
Not going to do it. Matter of fact, we probably won't talk Daredevil again until the series is over with. So
okay.
It's too close to the time we do our show. It drops on a Tuesday. Guys have to work. I don't even know if Knox watched it yet.
I did.
I didn't. I haven't had time.
Knock.
I'm getting ready for my mom to get here, so I'm a little behind on things. But anyway, let's see. JMS got screwed over by Marvel with One More Day. Yes, absolutely.
Marvel, like One More Day, just that
it's
horrible.
It's bad. Okay, so let's hope that Zelda does really well. Let's hope they do a great job on it, knock it out of the park. We got more video game news. Ubisoft is spinning off Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six into a new subsidiary backed by $125 billion from Tencent. Now, they made a statement down here, and I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to translate it for you. They're basically protecting their assets before they have a yard sale with Ubisoft. Is basically what they're doing. Their last few releases haven't done well, so they're trying to protect their franchises because they're about to sell the company. It's going under, so they need help, and that's Tencent has stepped in. What did you say, Jed? I'm sorry.
There's a title missing up there.
They
got
title?
Rainbow Six, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So you're missing a very major title up there.
What is it?
I can't. It was it. Siphon Filter, or it wasn't Siphon Filter.
You're talking about Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I was talking about Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell's been dead for years.
I know.
But PS1,
My brother used to play the shit out of Splinter Cell.
Dude, I still play the
people that weren't born. I had to play the game.
I still play the original games to this day.
Yeah,
there's 20-year-olds that weren't born when that was popular.
Right.
Yeah. And they screwed poor Michael Ironside over too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what Ubisoft is doing. They're protecting their assets. I thought of Knock when I saw this one. Morgan Wallen storms off the SNL stage, snubbing cast during goodbyes. Get me to God's country, he later sends out on Twitter. Let me see if I can find the video.
I thought that was so overblown, but
it really was. It's just a dude that didn't want to hang out up there. I mean,
yeah.
This is it right here. Hang on 1 second. I'll play it. He didn't snub him. He just walked off. That's all he did.
Thank you so much to Morgan Wallen. I had a wonderful time. Thank you all.
Get away from her.
Right? Look out.
I gave her a hug and it's like, all right, I'm out.
I'm out of here. He didn't hang out with the cast in front.
Get me to God's country is like his catchphrase. I mean, right now, like I think it's the name of his new album or something like that.
Yeah,
they can take it however they want, but I mean,
yeah.
That wasn't a snub. That was like, hey, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
From what they said, he didn't go to the after party. But you know what? From what I understand, that's what the guy's like. I've done my job.
Well, you also don't want him at the after party because they'll start throwing chairs. But I mean,
right?
And then you'll have to. He was
being nice. He was preventing himself from throwing chairs by leaving.
Okay? Yeah.
Right.
Then you'll do a Waffle House brawl where somebody has to catch a chair with one hand. Yep.
Okay. So this one.
Real quick here, Joe.
Go ahead.
Do it, just real quick. I saw this on Facebook. Chiefs and Chargers in Brazil, week 1.
Nice. That'll work.
Go.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. I guess we're gonna do a week 1 Brazil game from now on. Yes. Last year it was the Eagles and the Packers.
And we got the draft coming up in a few weeks too.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do.
I put in for that Friday off. So
that is the weekend of John's wedding. And so, yeah, we got the draft. And the next day I'm driving 10 hours to friggin' Missouri next morning. Let's see. Colin says Ubisoft has been mismanaged. Really feel for the division. Ubisoft's massive is their best company. Yeah. I hear
the
you.
Division seemed like a really cool concept. I think it was me, Red, I think Takedown. My brother was playing it for a little while. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty fun game. And the extraction part was so stressful. You basically go into it's basically Joe going into imagine doing a level, but then in part of the level is a special area we can get extra good loot in DCUO, but it's PvP.
Oh my God.
And you have to sit in one spot for a certain amount of time to extract your loot. And anyone can come after you during that time. They can
you
take
can't
your
move
loot and then extract
it. Shit.
Well, you move around the level to collect the stuff, like you defeat NPC, because NPCs are in it too. But there's also other players there as well. So you're pretty much trying to get as much loot while you're in this special area, and then extract it on the helicopter to get it out and then make it safe, to get it.
Wow,
dude, Knock. That sounds like in Far Cry 6, because I'm going through the story mode in Far Cry 6 right now. There is a different mode on Far Cry 6 where you got to go in, take these dudes out while they're chasing you, slip in there. Go in there, get up to the very point, and you got to do this nuclear thing where you got to keep it cool while people are coming after you. You got to keep this thing cool so it doesn't blow up while you have people. And you got to get to the other side. Yeah. You got to get to the other side of the map. Dealing with all this, it's like stress, like you said, stressful. It's like,
sounds like a game I would not play.
I was just I did it 4 times.
No, Joe, you would not enjoy any of these.
No, I did it 4 times, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Colin says I still play it. Division 3 already confirmed. The division, yeah. I hear you, man. It looked neat to me too, but after hearing that, no, I don't need to be playing that.
They're what do they call it? The the little not demos, but the when they show like a live gameplay of it.
Yeah.
And they do that like fake ass group dialogue where they're like, "Oh, I'm moving ahead, watch my back. I got your back. Go ahead."
Whatever.
They did that for it was so fucking cringy. It's like,
how about some real dialogue from the game? Right. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop moving forward. Get behind a car. You're running out
Take
of the
cover,
road.
dumbass.
Oh man, it was so cringy. It was so cringy when they had
when they
do
that's
that.
Funny.
I don't know why they think they're not good writers. I mean,
I hear you, man.
It's so weird.
All right, next up, guys. Look, we got some good news this week from the Superman realm. I want to show you a couple of things here. First thing I want to show you is this. That I got this one off of Threads. This was a little announcement they put out from the crew that's doing Superman. That's Lois, that's Superman, and that's Lex. Check them out. Let's see what they got to say.
He's not bald.
No sound.
No sound, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me fix that real quick.
You got to remember, he's already grown his hair.
They have the voices of angels.
They do. You can't hear them. Okay, everybody shut up. I'm fixing to play it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Well, it would help if I had the fucking sound on the freaking page, too. Let's refresh it and try again.
They had it for a second, and then it refreshed.
Here we go.
Hey, guys, we have something really special for you.
It's an extended preview of Superman.
You can check it out in theaters soon. We can't wait for you to see it.
Hey, guys, we have something really special.
There you go.
What else? The guy on the left.
What they're talking about is
I recognize him.
What's that now?
The guy on the left. I guess he's playing Lex. You said.
Yeah.
That's First Class.
Yeah, he's
Beast, right? Or
yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, he's playing Lex, dude, and he looks great in the preview.
Dude, they need to stop with these previews and just let it breathe.
They're not going to stop with the previews, my friend. They're not going to stop with the previews.
They're gonna. Are you going to put his thing up right there?
I'm going to show some of it. Yes. Okay. And I want. Now, I want to let you know there is no spoilers in this. Everything he talks about in this section that I'm going to play, there are no spoilers. Everything we've already seen in the trailer, that kind of thing. But I want you to hear what went on. What happened here is there was a test screening, and people didn't know what it was for. And I'll let Chris Gore talk about the rest of it right here. I've got to drop this out, and I've got to do my special thingy here. But our good friend Chris Gore from Film Threat let us know that there was a test screening, and he talked to somebody that he trusts in Hollywood, and this is what he had to say about the Superman test screening. Hang on one second. Let me set the playback speed a little bit faster than normal, and we'll be good to go. Okay, here we go. This is it right here.
Here we
There was
go.
a test screening of Superman last week, and I know someone who was there. It took place on the Warner's lot. It was Wednesday, March 26th in the afternoon. About 60 people showed up to the lot to see a test screening of a movie. They did not know it was Superman. Peter Safran and James Gunn were in the audience. It was at the Stephen J. Ross Theater on the Warner lot. Everyone was heavily vetted to see the movie, and they got to see Superman. It is the what they saw was unfinished. Some of the effects with the kaiju fight unfinished. There was also the titles were not completely finished. I'll tell you the bullet points of what I know, but I will not tell you spoilers, and I know them, a lot of them. Here's what I know. The running time surprised me. The film is an hour and 55 minutes. So just
an hour and 55 minutes.
Knox
It's
like,
in your
hey,
wheelhouse, bro.
Winner.
It needs another hour.
Hang on, though. Hang on.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you, they're
Again,
gonna
hush.
add some.
It was reported earlier that the movie was over 2 hours and 20 minutes. This cut that was shown to civilians, right? This was people that were, recruited to come to test screening. Saw an hour and 55 cut of the film. We know about Bradley Cooper playing Jor-El. That came out.
Ugh.
Additionally, the performance of David Cornsweet, he is truly Superman, from what I was told. He really is just from a heart, everything. He gave a great performance. There is also Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is chilling. People will die as a result of Lex Luthor's actions. He is pure evil in this movie.
There you go. I know that's a
Good.
big thing for Jed. He's been wanting to see a pure evil Lex Luthor.
Dude, how long have I been wanting to see that for a while? I'm like, dude, give me pure evil full on Lex versus the best hero on the face of the earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we need.
I want to play a little bit more of this, and then we'll react to it. Hang on.
Again, the effects were unfinished. I was also told that while people have been concerned about there's too much in this movie, the JLI, Justice League International, Guy Gardner, whatnot, these side characters, they're not as big a part of the movie as you might glean from the trailer that we've seen. Also, we've barely seen anything about what the story is. I actually know what the story is. I will not tell you. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. I'm not going to do that.
The fact that we haven't seen much of the story in the trailer is fantastic.
Yes.
Because most of the time, if it's a bad movie, you see all the best parts of the movie in the trailer. You know what I mean? But that gives me a lot of hope.
It just gives me a lot of faith.
Yeah. Let's see what else he says here.
What happened at the end of the screening, 2 last points I'll make. When the screening ended, it was wildly positive response from the people that were there. And someone screamed, Fantastic Four is fucked at the screening.
Amen.
We're overheard to be talking about the way they're promoting this. The way this film will be promoted will be big. They will do for this movie what they did for the promotion of Barbie. It will be huge promotion for this film. I know a lot more specifics. I don't want to say what they are.
And there you go. That's all I'm going to play of it. But this, I was the main thing a lot of people were saying when that first trailer dropped was, too many characters, all this stuff. And after hearing this, I'm like, Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it. I mean, I have faith in James Gunn. He hasn't done anything wrong in my eyes when it comes to the comic book genre so far. I've liked everything he's done. I mean, I think his version of the Suicide Squad was an improvement on the David Ayers version. I liked his version better. And you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's arguable that that's one of the best parts of the MCU. I mean, I know when the first trailer for Infinity War showed up, what was the last thing we saw on the screen in the first trailer? It was the Guardians of the Galaxy being there with Thor, right? Yep. And that really, hyped up theater audiences. So
there'll be no knife fighting around here.
Yeah, right.
And then let's not forget who set up the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, it was James Gunn. We found that out later on that he had outlined everything all the way up to Endgame.
Yeah, so from the start of it.
You can say what you want about James Gunn. He is a comic book nerd. He gets the material. So this does not surprise me. What they're saying about Lex being totally evil and Corn Sweat doing a great job. It doesn't surprise me, man. I'm really looking forward to my trek to Texas to watch this with my brother, so that's going to be fun. What do you think, Knock, from hearing all of this from the test screening?
Well, me, I like to hear things before I see stuff. That's just my vibe.
No, it's not. We know that.
I don't know. Like there's nothing that's going to prevent me outside of health issues from seeing this movie, or something tragic happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's nothing they can say to get me more excited about it. Because I'm not, like the biggest DC guy, but I don't know. This is going to be the biggest movie of the summer. And the only thing that apparently is going to beat it this year is some Chinese film that nobody outside of China has watched. So,
right.
Yeah.
Joe, you also forgot and missed a part where they said about the humor.
I didn't forget anything. I chose not to show it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, some people are going to go, well, what about the humor? And I thought that would be poignant too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What about the CGI?
Yeah, right.
Well, what they said and what Chris said, he says, everybody's like, we don't want to be like Guardians. And he goes, don't worry about that. They know when to be funny and know when to be serious. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, that's good.
That's what came out of Chris's mouth himself. So
that's good. That's really good. Yeah.
So far, and I'm going to say this, I'm a hard person to please on stuff that is legendary and I love and I grew up with. So far, everything, all the check marks are being checked off like with Joe.
Yep. And from what you told me, he also mentioned that my girl's going to have a split-second cameo.
Yeah. They're going to have a split-second cameo from Supergirl. It's just going to be like you're going to see her. I'm thinking that she's
just going to, it's going to be like Deadpool where he opens up the door and she's like standing there and then that's all we get.
No,
that's all we get. Yeah.
You know what
she's like walking by. She passes him on the street.
Yeah. In the Fortress of Solitude, right before the credits roll, she walks by.
Seriously, you know what I think it is? And I'm going to say this. They're going to probably have the rocket land or something.
No, who knows? Who knows?
So.
Look, I'm just looking forward to it because I like the filmmaker. And look, I'm not the biggest Superman fan. You're a bigger Superman fan than I am.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm an extreme.
That's a Superman fan?
Yeah, he's a big one. And a mutual guy we know, Knock, my best friend in the world, Dallas, is a huge Superman fan.
Yeah.
And I was never a fan of the comic books. I've detailed this several times. Every time I picked it up, it was just wholly unbelievable. But that was the 70s Superman, But I will say this. I root for Superman movies to do well because he is the original superhero. He is the first one. And I really, that's the guy that I've always loved the movies. Ever since I saw Christopher Reeve in that first Superman movie, I was enthralled with all the Superman stuff. So, let's see. 2 OP for me, 2 little flaws. Well, here's the thing about him though. And good to see you again, Ruben. What's going on, man? here's the thing with him. Yeah, I admit he's OP, but you know what? He's not a thinker. Superman is not a thinker. He's more the captain of the football team type. You know what I mean? But the Boy Scout. He's the good guy. He can be duped a lot. He doesn't think like an evil human being, so he just doesn't understand it when people do evil shit.
Well,
am I getting this right, Jed? I mean,
Yeah, well, I would say Captain Marvel, not that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Shazam.
He is more of a duper than Supes, because if you go in the '90s Superman,
yeah,
like that, and that's the thing.
But you get what I'm saying. He's not like Batman. He's not cynical.
No, yeah, he's a good person.
Actually, Joe, he wasn't the first superhero. It was actually the Phantom.
Yeah,
you want to go back even further? It was Zorro, motherfucker. So
there you go. Yeah. John's got an opinion. Who was it, John? Who was the first one?
I'd have to look, but I was thinking it was Doc Savage.
Doc Savage? Okay, gotcha. But I always root for Superman.
Yeah.
I always want to root for Superman to do well. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to it. After hearing that from the test screening, though,
yeah,
people really having a positive vibe coming out of it. And yeah, that sounds pretty cool to me. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I'm always wary of the first-time screeners.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, but here's the thing on this. They've already seen 2 screenings, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've already seen 1 or 2 screenings. So the last 2 times that I've heard stuff, and I've heard some stuff from Chris and stuff, they said it was bad.
Yeah.
So this one, because they've already shown like once or twice. This one was like
this is the first one I've heard of, Jed.
Yeah, so. This is the second or third time, and they said they got it right. So I'm just like, and they didn't use the same people. It was different people each time. That's how it happens.
Okay. We've had a lot of people passed away in Hollywood this week. First guy want to talk about this week was James Bond villain star and father of popular actor, dead at 92. This is Bruce Glover and his son Crispin Glover. You guys probably know Crispin from the Back to the Future movies. He's McFly, and he's also in the smoking guy in Charlie's Angels. That's the one I really dig him in. But yeah, his dad Bruce Glover was in the movies as a character actor as well. I remember him from Diamonds Are Forever. He was part of the duo Hitman squad. The gentlemen, I like to call them. They were really nice. They were gentlemanly guys as they were trying to kill you. But what, John, looked like you were about to say something.
Wasn't it Mr. Wint? Is that who it was?
Yeah, that's it. They were calling him. I can't remember exactly his name in the movie, but yeah, he passed away at 92 this week. So, and I haven't seen Crispin Glover make anything in a long time. Have you guys seen him recently?
No.
He kind of like burnt a lot of bridges in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah.
Okay, so the last time that I saw him, he was actually at Universal and he was playing another character on the lot. Like that's like John said, the whole Back to the Future fiasco, he burned a lot of bridges.
Yeah, well, he was in a couple of things after that, but
yeah, but he did. Yeah. I agree with John on that one.
I liked him a lot in Charlie's Angels, but his dad did a few movies, but he was a lot like his son. He was always an offbeat dude in everything he did, you know.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yep. But anyway, he passed away at 92. And this one, one of them we're going to talk about in the main part of the show, but this one right here, that one got to me right here. Richard Chamberlain, heartthrob king of the TV miniseries, passed away. He was, I believe, 90 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
His filmography, guys, it's not the greatest in the world, but he's done some really cool stuff that nerds really dig. You probably know him from the King Solomon's Mines movies, the canon films that they made back in the day. But I remember him as the king of the miniseries. He did the original Shogun from the, I think it was the early 80s Shogun came out. Thornbirds is another one. Your mom's probably watched that one and loved it because he was a ladies' man. And what's funny about it is he wasn't a ladies' man, if you get my drift. He had a partner for many years, but all the ladies loved this guy because he was a good looking dude and very suave and debonair, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, he passed away at 90. He's part of one of my favorite movies of all time, my top 5 favorite movies. And I know it's on John's list as well. I don't know where it ranks, but The Towering Inferno, he's the guy that started the fire. He was the guy that scrimped on the materials and didn't get the right stuff for the contractor, and it ended up with an electrical fire that killed several people. So
I love that movie,
and I love that one.
Love that.
And here's a trivia thing that you guys may or may not know. He is also the first guy that ever played Jason Bourne. A lot of people think that Bourne started with Matt Damon. It didn't. That book series was written back in the 70s and by a guy named Robert Ludlum. I read them and I loved them. And he played him in a miniseries on television in the late 70s. He was the first guy to play Jason Bourne. So anything you guys want to say about him, John? I'll start with you. What do you think of Richard Chamberlain?
Well, like you said, he was king of the miniseries. That's what he did. I mean, he did stuff before that, but that's what, modern audiences know him from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Knock, did you know anything this guy did? He was before your time.
Unfortunately, not really.
Yeah. He was a really good actor. Jed, what do you think of this guy?
There was 2 men that my mom loved. It was Richard Chamberlain and Tom Selleck playing Magnum PI. Those were the 2. Yeah. So yeah. When me and Joe were younger, you saw him in every single mini series that was on TV. So and Tower Inferno, like I said, one of my favorite movies too. So
it's my favorite disaster movie. Irwin Allen made a lot of disaster movies. The Swarm. He was actually in The Swarm too, but that's a bad movie, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine just because I'm an Irwin Allen
only
fan.
Movie to ever give me a nightmare.
Really?
Are you serious?
You must not like bees at all, huh?
That's why it was, because it wasn't like, okay, well, these are like giant bees or something. No, these are stuff that was in the news.
Yeah, it was in the news at the time. They were creepy. Remember, they said, they're going to be here by the 2000s.
Yeah, I remember
we're
that.
all going to get killed by them and blah blah blah.
Well, they also said we were going to have an ice.
Turns out that the weather in North America isn't very conducive to those bees, so they just tend to stay south of us in Mexico. So, but Chaya Miller, it's good to see you. Yes, like I said, he liked the way he looked. He did get surgery over the years, but Richard Chamberlain gone at 90. And he will be missed, man. No doubt about it. He was a guy that I loved watching on television. He was really good, man. He did some great stuff. I love that first Shogun series. I've got to finish the new one. I was really enthralled with it, but my wife wasn't getting into it, so I've got to watch it when she's not around. You know what I mean? She wasn't getting into it, but I dug it, the new one. But the old one, I highly recommend watching the one from the 80s, man. It's a good miniseries. And that's what made him famous, was that one and the Thornbirds really launched his career. And that's when he went to Hollywood and all that good stuff. So we're going to miss Mr. Chamberlain. Okay. So guess what, guys? We're past the halfway point. We've been having some good discussions. So we have got to check in on the girlfriend of the show, boys and girls. You know what time it is. At least I would hope you know what time it is.
How do you want me to handle the Sydney issue?
The Sydney issue?
Well, we should have a consensus on how the White House is going to handle it.
Well, I certainly hope the Sydney issue refers in some way to a problem that we're having with Australia, because if it's anything other than that,
Mr. President, Ms. Sweeney, I'll see you.
Have her come in, please. I am finished here.
Yes, sir.
There is no Sydney issue.
That's right. It's time to check in on the girlfriend of the show, the Sweeney Spot. What's going on?
Hey Joe, I have
yeah.
a supplement to that right there in the private chat to what we're going to be talking about.
Okay. I got you. First one we've got tonight under the Sweeney Spot. Let's see. We've got Sydney Sweeney fans obsessed with her new swimsuit photo. That's on the Instagram list. They're talking about this one right here where she's in the pool. And yeah, rather nice.
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones I sent you for this week too.
That's nice. Let's see. Yeah. Look at these guys in the chat. You guys are too much, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little video to go with it too. But yeah, that pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I like it. Next up, Sydney Sweeney stuns with beachy photos. Now, one thing that we noticed about these beach photos, if you look at her hands, her engagement ring isn't there anymore. Very interesting. And they noticed this, and they pointed it out in the article. Pretty interesting right there that she doesn't have a ring on in these pictures. Pretty interesting.
And then
we find out that Sydney Sweeney called off the wedding because she's not ready to settle down, as breakup with fiance Jonathan Davino is confirmed. And if you go to People magazine, they'll give you all the reasons. But basically, she's too damn busy for a relationship, man. She's too successful, and she just she feels like she's not ready to settle down, and that's basically the gist of it. It's not like she doesn't like the man or anything like that. It's just she's been too busy and too successful.
She don't have no time for babies right now.
You know, I tell you what, the fact that he got 7 years of her in her prime, that's up to him.
Right?
Yep. But she was busy a lot
another
too.
10 years or so, and she,
Jonathan Davino got something going on, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty interesting. Let me take a look at what you've got. Is it what I just put up there?
I think it was.
I've already got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You sent me that. I pay attention, Jed. Don't worry. We got it. But anyway, that is what's going on. So you're saying I've got a chance. Well, yes, you guys have a chance. She's back on the market. But actually she's not. If you read the article, she's not. She's too damn busy.
Yeah.
She's got 2 movies coming out this year that she's going to have to promote. Plus she's got like 3 upcoming projects. She's got Euphoria season 3 she's working on.
Yep.
And a bunch of other stuff. So
and Barbarella 2026.
That's another project she's going to be working on. Yeah. So
and I'm keeping a close eye on that one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, because that's I hate Jane Fonda, but that movie is like vintage gold, you know. So that's where Duran Duran got their name for their band from.
Yep. So. A lot of people don't like that movie because of who's in it, but you know, hey, let me tell you something.
Based on a French comic book.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And Jane Fonda plays the title role in it, and it was before she was Hanoi Jane.
Yeah, it was before she lost her mother.
You could say what you want, but she was a bombshell when she was young. That girl was gorgeous.
No, there's no kidding. She was smoking hot, and I was like, okay. They're like, no, she wasn't. I was like, bro, you're lying. Don't bullshit me.
Right.
Because I always bring out Barbarella. That was her in her prime right there. Like the best she ever looked. And then about a couple years later, she just went nutters.
Yep.
You know, and went against the U.S. government.
So you're saying that eventually Sydney Sweeney's going to go nutters?
Let's hope not.
We hope not.
Shush now.
Yeah, don't jinx it, brother.
But hey, no. You're usually one that jinxes it, bro. You're usually the one that's glass half empty, saying what Knock just said. So
yeah, and
that was his whole point right there.
Yeah,
I can't believe you're not saying that about.
Yeah, I'm. There's a reason.
So. Well, you've been known to say, "I hope she doesn't go with the way of Marilyn Monroe."
No. Okay, so Norma, and we're gonna call her by her real name, had a lot of fucked up issues before.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Even like I don't see this in her.
Yeah.
You know.
No, she's very based.
That's the reason why I haven't said any of that.
Jed is the fact that she hangs out with the people that she knew before she became a movie star.
And I've said me and Joe
Together
have
all
both
the
said
time.
that.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps her grounded. and
Never
keeps her
forget where
busy.
you came from.
That's right. That's a fact.
Yeah.
All right, the main part of the show tonight, guys. This one hurts. I found out about it in the middle of our DCUO stream last night. Colin was there watching. We had a good time talking to him during it and everything. But guys, well, I tell you what, I'm just going to play this video. I saw this at lunchtime on one of my our local television network played this, and I'm just going to go ahead and play it in its entirety. If I have to cut it out of the show later, I think it was a nice tribute to him. Val Kilmer passed away from pneumonia at the age of 65, only 5 years older than me. And that's, let me tell you something, guys. Tomorrow is not promised. Act like every day is the last day of your life. Love your loved ones, stay in touch with them, and don't ever go to bed mad at people, because you don't know how long you're going to be here. Let's see this tribute to Val Kilmer, one of the best actors I've ever seen. Let's check this out real quick. It's from ABC News, and I'll make sure all the sound stuff is right. Here we go.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Hollywood is remembering Val Kilmer, best known for his roles in Batman Forever and The Doors. Born and raised in Los Angeles, Kilmer broke onto the Hollywood scene in the 80s, starring in comedies like Real Genius and Top Secret.
I'm sorry, I really don't know any German.
I know a little German. He's sitting over there.
In 1986, he played Tom Cruise's rival Iceman in Top Gun.
You can be my wingman anytime.
But it was in 1991 that Kilmer got his breakout role, playing rock star Jim Morrison in The Doors, solidifying his status as a leading man. A few years later, he would star opposite Kurt Russell in Tombstone.
I'm your Huckleberry.
And in 1995, he would join Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in Michael Mann's Heat.
Still haven't seen this movie.
Oh,
Kilmer
God.
would get
Where's
his
Willow?
moment,
Shush.
donning the black cowl in Batman Forever.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
Despite the film's box office success, it would be Kilmer's only outing as the Caped Crusader. And despite some critically acclaimed roles, including Perry in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Good movie.
You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No! The definition of the word idiot, which you are.
Kilmer would struggle to find the same level of success in the second half of his career. He was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014. He recovered, but a procedure left him short of breath and reduced his voice to a rasp.
What do you miss most about your old voice, Val?
Kilmer continued to act with his voice dubbed over by other actors. His final film appearance would be in the most successful movie of his career, returning to the role of Iceman in Top Gun Maverick.
The Navy needs Maverick.
Josh Brolin remembering Kilmer as a smart, challenging, brave, uber creative firecracker. Val Kilmer was 65. Our thoughts are with his family.
Yeah, man, that's that one hits different. You know, we hear about these guys passing away all the time, but I was a huge fan of this dude. Val, dead at the age of 65, passed away from pneumonia. Now, me and John were talking earlier before we came on, and I thought it was interesting that he died of pneumonia, but yeah, it was a complication of his throat cancer. That probably had something to do with it. But yeah, what a shame. This guy was one of the greats. And I heard you saying, what about Willow? Dude, there's several movies that aren't even shown there. They're just showing the highlights.
Real Genius wasn't on there.
I was fixing to say, that's my favorite one, is Real Genius. But that's why we're going to talk the rest of the show, because we could do 2 hours on Val Kilmer easily. First of all, let's go around the horn. Knock, what's your favorite Val Kilmer movie?
I may have to get back to you on that one. Because I was never what is the Iceman movie?
Top Gun.
Top
I
Gun.
was never a Top Gun fan. I didn't watch his Batman, although he is the first autograph I did ever buy.
Really?
So
Yeah.
that's good for you.
The first
then.
one. I picked that one up at one of the local cons. They had an autograph stand there, and so I do have his autograph in the Batman suit. You know what? Now that I'm looking at the page, it's definitely got to be Tombstone.
Yeah.
Then
I
Willow's
mean,
up there,
look,
too.
a lot of people could argue that, look, he was snubbed by the Academy Awards, that he should have been nominated for that movie. No doubt about it.
For two
And,
movies, he should have been nominated.
Yeah. I think he was nominated for The Doors. I think he
Well,
was.
he should have got 2 Oscars for Tombstone and The Doors.
Yeah.
Those were the ones that he really put, he put his heart and soul, everything, but they're, dude, those were the 2 movies he should have won awards for.
Yeah. But, he's, look, I went around the horn on this picture alone last night, and everybody that was on, it was deleted scenes, me, and
me.
Yeah, and Jed showed up later on, and I said, "Who is this? Right? What movie is this? What movie is this?" And there wasn't one of those movies that people didn't know the name of.
Yeah,
and I just went around the horn and said, "What's this one? What's this one?" I mean, there's several that aren't pictured here. Real Genius to me is my favorite one that he ever did, because I've said several times, if you can do comedy, you can do anything.
Yup.
Comic timing is the hardest thing to do, and he is freaking hilarious in Real Genius. He is just a riot as Chris Knight. Chris Knight's my fucking hero. I love Chris Knight. I want to be Chris Knight. That's just all there is to it. Let's see. Y'all see Deadline boomered themselves when they announced his death and put the wrong Batman picture. Yes. That was funny. I saw that on Midnight's Edge earlier today. What they said, the correct movie, they said Batman Forever, right? But they showed a picture of Keaton. The original picture of Keaton next to the Batmobile. It's pretty damn hilarious.
Listen, they're all Batmans. How can you tell the difference?
Right? How can you tell the difference?
They have masks
it's
on.
the same guy in the mask,
You don't
right?
know. We don't know who it is under there.
But another one, The Saint was another movie that was really good. It was based on a 60s English television show that Roger Moore starred on, and Val Kilmer played the part in the movie The Saint. And I really wish that one had got legs and they made a franchise out of it. I thought that would have been like a cool James Bond type show. You know what I mean? The Saint, I guess, not to put it in perspective, Arya in Game of Thrones, that was the Saint. He was the faceless man. He could get in anywhere, and he was a master of disguise and all that stuff. Pretty cool story.
4 foot nothing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But let's see. He did a great job as Jim.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Jim Morrison. Absolutely. He knocked
Dude,
it
he
out of
was
the
just
park,
like
dude.
Jim Morrison in that movie.
Martin says, I love the Saint. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But John, what's your favorite movie that he ever starred in?
Real Genius, Tombstone, Willow.
That quick, he just rattled them all off.
In that order. Yep.
In that order, huh? Yeah, I think Real Genius really is my favorite one. What was the second one you said?
Tombstone.
Tombstone. Yeah. I mean, talk about a tour de force.
Yeah.
Dude. They kept calling him Lunger and shit, fucking with him, and he just didn't care. He was like, what?
See, I would change that. And mine, it would be Willow, Real Genius, Tombstone.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Willow.
Use this line all the time. I'm your Huckleberry. That's
I'm
just
your
my
Huckleberry. Yeah. Everybody says that now because of him, right?
And I think Top Gun would be 4, so.
Yeah, Top Gun. Top Gun's a good movie, but I'm kind of with Knock. I actually like the second movie better than the first one. The first one was a music video. Let's face it, guys. I mean, really, it was. It was the MTV era, and the cool thing about that movie was the dogfighting scenes where it's actual jets doing all the aerial stuff and everything, and that was the selling point of that movie.
Top Secret would be up there too.
Yeah, I think I agree with John on that one.
Top Secret, yeah. It was a funny movie. It was absolutely, man. But gosh, man, this guy. Now there is a documentary out there about him. I think it's not like the Being John Malkovich one. I think it's just called Val.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So check that out. It's on Netflix. This guy was a different kind of dude. He was very creative, and he rubbed some people the wrong way. So a lot of the time. Let's see. Can we all agree he was a good Bruce Wayne? Yeah, I think he was a good Bruce Wayne. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I think they showed my favorite line from that movie. It's the car, right? Chicks dig the car. That was very cool. Let's see. Small Time Republic says Thunderheart is a good and under the radar Kilmer movie. No doubt, that is a good one. I think he was a detective on an Indian reservation, isn't that right? I can't remember exactly what that one was about. It's been a long time since I saw that one, but it's good to see you, Matt. We miss you, man.
We do.
But
Val came out in 2021.
Which one?
2021. Yeah.
Which one did?
Val.
Val, the documentary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought of one that. Oh yeah, we were talking beforehand about a lot of movies that weren't on the list of stuff that they mentioned there. One that I dug because I'm a huge Michael Douglas fan is Ghost in the Darkness, which is actually loosely based on a true story. Ghost in the Darkness. Shoot, I want to say it had a big time. Let's see what movies that they have here for him. Yeah, The Doors, The Saint, Kiss Kicks Bang Bang, and Willow. Well, you should have Heat and Tombstone up here before a couple of these folks.
Yeah.
But anyway, but the one I was talking about, Ghost in the Darkness, it was back in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Late 80s.
I completely forgot about Red Planet.
Yeah, Red Planet. That's another one he made that was pretty good. We're doing some deep cuts now, though, John. Some stuff people may not have seen. But Ghost in the Darkness, I love Michael Douglas. I've always watched his movies. I think he's great. And that one, he was a bridge engineer, I believe. And Michael Douglas is a professional hunter that they bring in to kill a lion that is killing the guys that are working on this bridge. So they have to hunt it. And it's pretty damn cool movie, man. It's really, really good. Let's see. Soul Assassin says Ghost in the Darkness is a good Kilmer movie and is based off the true story about killer lions. Yeah. It did end up being more than one lion, didn't it? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I saw that movie. Let's see. Yeah, I'll get to it. Matt says The Island of Dr. Moreau, not so good. Yeah. I mean,
dude,
hey,
there was
they
so
all
much,
can't be great.
there was so much chaos on that movie. They just gave up at one point.
highly recommend you go watch the Critical Drinkers production nightmare video on that movie, man. Him and Brando on the set were not good together. That's two egos that don't need to be around each other.
But it was more Brando than it was him. So.
Yeah. All right, Martin, take care of yourself, man. Thanks for being here. He says, gotta go. My planet needs me. Carrie Ann Moss in the shower. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Anyway, we could talk about Val Kilmer for hours. The guy was so talented, though. I mean, he could do anything. And like I said, real genius. That movie made me a big fan of him, because if you've never seen it, first of all, he is so quick-witted in that movie. It's not even funny. Of course, it's a movie. They can cut it any way you want, but the guy's delivery was so great. I mean, everything in that movie is just hilarious. You have to watch that movie more than once to catch all the jokes he says.
Yep.
Because every time he responds to somebody, it's a joke. Every fucking time. Even if it sounds like he's serious, He's so great. But I tell you what, man, I'm not into heist movies. I'm just not a big fan of the genre, but Heat is one of the best movies you'll ever see. And from what I understand, and this is a tribute to the filmmaker Michael Mann, who I'm a huge fan of. I loved Miami Vice when it was on TV, and all the films he's made, starting with Last of the Mohicans on, have been just visually stunning. First of all, he's a great cinematographer, and he always does great stuff. And that movie Heat right there, dude, it's long, but man, you know what I thought of when I saw that gunfight the first time? You remember when those guys covered themselves in Kevlar head to toe and they robbed the bank in LA, and the cops, several cops got killed trying to take these guys down, and they ended up having to use sharpshooters to take them down with headshots.
Yeah.
Because, oh man, that was such a scary thing. I think it was was it the mid 90s that happened? I think it was after Columbine that happened. But yeah, that's what I thought of when I saw Heat the first time. And from what I understand, that gunfight is actually used when teaching troops how to move with cover fire. That's how good strategically they made that piece of film. That gunfight in the middle of the movie Heat. It's just and what kicked off that gunfight was he was going to the car. They're all in the car except him. He's coming out with the last duffel bag and he's smiling at him like, we got this. And then he saw a cop and he just flipped that quick, dropped the bag and started cutting loose on the guy that he saw. It was pretty neat, man. That movie is fantastic. But that's the kind of actor he was. He could really do anything they needed him to be. He was great as Iceman. I think he was the best thing in Top Gun. I don't think Top Gun would have been as good a movie without him. You know what I mean?
He's only in the movie for like 10 minutes, too.
He's only in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But he establishes himself as the alpha dog that fucking Cruise is going to have to deal with the whole movie. You know what I mean? And the guy that played that part in the Top Gun Maverick sequel, right? The sequel to it, Glenn Powell has gone on to become pretty. He's a leading man in Hollywood now. That part is, if you do it well, if you're the arrogant prick and do it well, you know, you're gonna go far.
But he was kind of the arrogant, lovable prick in the movie with Sydney.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. That movie was. I will still say, if you guys haven't gone see that, anything but me, I think that's what I said. I'd go see that. It's a good movie.
Anyone But You is the name of it.
Anyone But You. And it's Netflix, I think, too. So
yeah. The Shootout is a wild story. 2 robbers versus 370 cops. Remember back when History Channel pre-Aliens used to talk about it? Yeah, that shootout in LA was crazy. It really was. Thanks for mentioning that, Soul Assassin, and thanks for being here, man. But yeah, Val had a great career, and we know all about the throat cancer. And I believe I was watching something about the post-production on Top Gun Maverick. His voice in that movie was actually an AI blending of his actual voice and his son's voice. To get that effect, because you heard what he really sounds like when he was doing the interview with that Hollywood reporter from ABC. He could barely talk. He could barely talk near the end. So, thoughts about Val Kilmer? Go ahead, guys. I could rant about him for hours because I just love the guy. I think he was awesome. Really, tell us your favorite stuff about Val Kilmer.
One of the greatest actors of our generation.
Yep.
Oh, I agree with that.
He could play anything, man. He really could.
I know I didn't say that much about Batman because he's okay. I just really don't like. But my favorite stuff was like, especially my favorite one. When because I got to go to a pre-screening of Willow when it first came out.
Oh,
because I got to go to see it the night before it came out, and
you mentioned a lovable bully. That's what he is in that movie.
Yeah,
he's a lovable bully, man.
He turns from the person that's you just like, and he did. Yeah, he turns from the person that you're like, oh, dude, easy day, and he goes, I am the greatest swordsman that ever lived. When he took peck, like,
Yeah,
and,
great.
and when you see him in that cage for the first time, I whispered to my friend that was next to me. I was like, dude, you're gonna see a total redemption arc from him in this movie. I'm calling it now. When we came out of the movie, he's like, how did you call that? I was like, come on. It's Val Kilmer. Like,
yeah.
And I even made a joke. I said, I wouldn't even be shocked if we see him as Batman or some other superhero later on down the line. And then when he became Batman, my friend freaked out. He goes, but I said, remember, Batman or some other hero. I didn't call exactly Batman. And he's like, because I would just Valkyrie, and then Tombstone, Real Genius, like, dude, there's so many. And then
his filmography is littered with great performances, man. It really is.
One, and I keep saying this, the one that he, like, Tombstone, that's a given to, but the one where he just shined like the brightest was the Doors movie. I love Willow, but Tombstone showed him, like, it was a mastercraft.
Dude, he was Jim Morrison.
Yeah, he was. That's the reason why.
Anybody that knows anything about Jim Morrison and that stuff, yes, he was Jim Morrison.
He was Jim Morrison.
Real quick, let me highlight this by Colin. He says Top Gun is my favorite movie of all time. Kilmer was great in it. Definitely teared up in the sequel seeing him in it. Look, I said this when I walked out of the theater. I was like, if that scene between Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer didn't get you, then you just don't have a heart, man.
Yeah,
because,
dude, I got
that was awesome.
I got choked up even when I saw it, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just like, man.
Yep. Jed Stradamus.
So I've called some shit over the years, like, and people are like, dude, how does he do that sometimes?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, let's see. Soul Assassin also says, I heard a rumor that Kilmer was up for Obi-Wan in the prequel films. Not sure if it's true. But
okay, so
I could imagine that. Yes,
there was multiple people up in the pre-sequel films, and if I remember right, I'm not sure on this. The reason why he wasn't up in the big running because he was working on something else at the time.
Yeah,
or he would have got in there.
Well, we could go on about this for hours, but we're coming to the end of the show. So let me just be the first one to sum up. And I want to talk about the Batman rule specifically. First of all, Royal Fox says that the best Batman ever is Val Kilmer. She sticks by that to this day. She thinks he's the best Batman of all time. But then again, she was in love with the dude. She has a thing with blue-eyed, blonde-haired guys. Aryan youth. You know what I'm saying? She has something for that type of guy. But I got to tell you, the Batman movie. It's not his fault that he didn't play it again.
It wasn't.
It was Joel Schumacher. We saw what he did with the next movie. It was just so hilariously bad.
Dude, he's a douche. I'm sorry.
But I think that Batman Forever was successful because Val Kilmer was in it.
Yeah.
I really think he was the shining star of the movie. But, and Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey being in it didn't hurt. I mean, those guys were two big, huge stars.
Dude, and Jim Carrey did an off the wall Riddler in the TV show, in the original TV show. Jim Carrey did like a copy of what happened in the TV show where the Joker and the Riddler were just off the wall.
Yep.
So
Soul Assassin says, to be fair, anyone can play Batman, but Kevin Conroy is the true voice of Batman. Yes.
Amen, brother.
We all agree
Amen.
on that. We all agree on that.
Brother.
Anybody that's ever listened to or watched an episode of Batman, the television series, Kevin Conroy did the voiceovers in the game that me and Colin and Knock love to play, DC Universe Online. And dude, there's no better voice for Batman ever. But anyway, last thoughts on Val Kilmer. Knock, what did you think of the guy?
I don't believe I was as big a fan as you guys, but definitely a great actor. I'm always gonna, remember his role in Willow, and I watched that plenty of times growing up. And then of course Tombstone when I was going through my, Western phase.
Mhm.
That was definitely one of the movies I watched, and he was great in that one.
Mhm. Yep.
But yeah, good movies.
Yep. John, last thoughts on Val Kilmer, the great American actor.
Well, as I said, he's probably one of the greatest actors of our generation.
Yeah.
I agree with John on that. Yeah.
Mhm. Jed, anything else you want to add?
No, I think I got it. I talked about Tombstone, talked about The Doors, talked about Willow, Batman, Top Gun, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah.
And definitely go check out that documentary.
Real
about him,
Genius.
guys. Yeah.
Real Genius, too.
Real Genius to me is the best.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I'm sorry. I will always love that movie. Colin says Kilmer was as Batman was solid too, but Seal made the movie a hit. Yeah. He had a hit song off that soundtrack. No doubt about it, man. There's no doubt about that. Okay, boys and girls. Well, that's it for this week. We are going to go around the horn and promote our stuff, starting with John. What you got coming up, man? What's up?
Well, I've got just the usual stuff, I guess.
I've got, I'm going to put your stuff up here real quick as soon as I get at Amazon. But and I'm going to promote your show on Top Looking Line Theater. But just let them know about what the process is going on with your books and stuff.
Yeah, I've got another book it's being edited, and it's in the mainline Clan Oak Willows cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on a Kickstarter project that got approved. So I've just got to make it go live.
Cool.
And
you got a link for that so I can throw it up there real quick?
Yeah, I've got the preview link.
Okay.
I'm throwing it in the private chat.
Okay.
But if you play any form of D&D except 4th edition, because screw 4th edition. What I'm doing is it's called the Iron Codex, Relics of Metal and Madness.
Okay.
It's a book of magic items inspired by heavy metal songs and bands.
Mm-hmm.
And it has stats for 5th edition, 3.5 / Pathfinder, and first / 2nd edition AD&D.
Cool. Hang on, I'm bringing this up now. Oh, the Kickstarter wants me to log in. Okay, well, he's got a Kickstarter thing going for that project, and I can't. Oh, there it is. Thank God, John. This thing. Look, sometimes, guys, this is a pain in the butt doing this because Vince has got all the links in there for me, and I can't look at anything because it takes a minute for it to come up. But this is the book he's got available on Amazon. And he has a storefront there for John Schmidt. Of course, the Tomb of Thunder is there. His novella, Thunder's Odyssey. And go to Kickstarter. And what did they look up under Kickstarter, man? Because I couldn't. It wanted me to sign into Kickstarter for that. Link.
Iron Codex. It's not live yet.
Okay.
I just have the preview. That's that link that I sent you. If you want to, anybody can look at that link. It's just not live. I could set up like a pre-live site that I haven't done yet because there's some back-end stuff I have to do to make that happen.
Okay.
But I even have a playlist of all the songs that inspired items.
Wow.
So
what a deal. All right, cool. Well, listen, I'm going to copy this link and put it in real fast for you. Let me see. Here's my comments. Boom. There it is right there, guys. You can go check out that Kickstarter campaign right there. Like he said, it's not live yet. And he's got a couple books out, so go check it out. Plus, he's got a storefront there where you can buy coffee mugs and all kinds of stuff. So go check him out on Amazon. Thanks for being here, John. I appreciate you, man. Jed, tell them what's going on with the archivist, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm going to be going to a convention, and I'm going to be talking to some people that I've known for a while to see if I can get them on, because I lost some of their contact info.
Mhm.
I think it was in my older phone.
Yeah.
So
Throw the link for that so we can throw it up here too.
okay. So
Either the link or you can just share it yourself, and I'll throw it up.
okay. I'll share it.
But the archivist is where he doesn't bitch about things and talks about things he loves.
Sure.
If you want to see Jed in glass half full mode, go to the archivist.
Yeah. So, but it's yeah. I'm like, I want to do good stuff. I don't want to. I know I'm known as the Hellraiser and stuff sometimes, but dude, there are just some times where I just want to talk about stuff I love, like the Val Kilmer. It's a shame we passed away, but we are respecting him, like talking about all the things. Like I said, I get very passionate about Willow because I got to go see it before everybody else did.
Yeah, that's cool.
Back in the day when it first came out, and I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah.
He was a huge part of that movie.
Yeah,
I would say he was a bigger part of the movie than Warwick Davis was. Like, if it wasn't for Mad Mardigan, nothing, like, it's basically
focus.
Oh,
Focus.
Yeah, okay,
We're done with the I'm done with the talk on Val. Look, tell them about the series of Superman stuff you've been doing.
Okay, so I've been doing the Panic in the Sky series, and it's my first time doing streams all by myself and stuff. And I'm actually talking about this comic series because Superman is like my favorite superhero. I learned how to read by Superman. So I would say it's like Superman, Fantastic Four, JSA, like all this other stuff. But it's 90s Superman was my favorite era. Like you had so much good. We ate good in the 80s and 90s with Superman, dude.
So the convention you're going to is this one right here, and tell them about that. You're gonna do some content for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some content. We'll probably do it. So that's here. It's the Southwest Premier Video Game Tabletop Anime Convention, and then here's all the guests that are going to be here. You gotta get Sam. I'm see if I can get some money because I want to meet him and stuff.
Yep.
Tony Hawk.
Sam Whitworth. He's going to be in the circuit forever. Yep.
Yeah, Don Bluth is going to be there. I would love to meet him.
Great animator,
dude. There's so many people just. And this is the 10th year. This gets bigger every single year. And I only started going to this convention about 3
Troy
years
Baker's
ago.
in there. Oh shit, Arcane.
Dude, dude, there's so many people here. Like
Echo.
Honky Tonk Man. Then here's where we get down right here. Like you see the homies like Chris Sutherland. Like I'm gonna talk to Carlos, and I'm gonna talk to Daniel, and like a bunch of the video game guys to see Paul.
You say Sam Whitworth's going to be there?
Yeah,
he's
son
one
of
of
a
the top
bitch.
guys. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, all those people
I
you
missed
just
that.
saw
Came
this
in late.
weekend, and Sam Whitworth's going to be there, right?
Yeah, and dude, Video Game Nerd's going to be there. I want to talk to him.
I got to come to the East Coast.
Yeah, like, dude, and then like, where is it? Smash JT is going to be there. Like, dude, so. This is going to be huge, and I can't wait to go to this. I get to.
Well, we look forward to you putting out some stuff for us to see. You guys definitely keep an eye on his X, because I guarantee you he's going to be taking. He did the last time he was there. He was taking pictures with people and putting them out on X immediately. So
yeah, so
you guys take a look for that. Well, Jed, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here, man, as always. Let me let you guys. Well, first of all, let's mention that Knock is going to have another report from another con.
Yeah, I'm going to show you right here what I got going on this weekend, because I didn't get a chance to do that.
Yeah,
real quick, like
it's easier to do that, isn't it?
5 minutes, Joe. Calm down.
No. I have to push my shit in the last 5 minutes. Stop.
Yeah, it takes him longer. He's older to push his shit. You know.
Come on.
Go. All right, so we got mostly the Goonies. There's not as many stars in this one.
Yeah.
Most of the Goonies. We got a couple of Lord of the Rings.
I would love to meet John Rice Davies.
Yeah.
I haven't met him
He's
yet.
a little too expensive for me. I don't know him outside
Yeah.
of Lord of the Rings, and
Mhm.
is there a little too expensive?
Dude, you got a
Most
bunch of
expensive is Liz
Goonies.
Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Ming Na Wen. I was gonna get hers last year when she canceled, but she hasn't canceled yet. So
Dude,
I have
I
a
would-
thing for Liv Tyler, by the way. I did.
Yeah.
Of course. Just-
Dude, you have all the
more-
live action Ninja Turtles there.
Yeah,
They're going to be
Dude,
here at
Turtles,
GeekCon too in August. Yeah.
We got
we only have a few of them at this one this next week, and
we
I
got
was like,
Simon
dude, I want
Pegg and
Donna
Nick
Taylor.
Frost. And of course, the big one for me is Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet him on Sunday.
Hey, Robert Davi's kick ass.
Yeah,
Dude,
Robert
you got
Downey,
Simon Pegg there,
Sean
dude.
Astin, and of course, I'm gonna get her photo and autograph from Summer Glau. Just got announced.
Yes,
that's pretty cool. So of course we got Blue Clues. You know, they're at everything.
Yeah.
Voice actors, I didn't recognize many in here.
Yeah.
Outside of Ross here, Ross Marquand from
Ross
The Walking
Marquand.
Dead.
I've got him over there.
I don't know. I'm not sure why. I guess he does more voice acting than acting. I guess.
Yeah, he does. He does a lot of voice acting.
He does a
Yes.
lot of voice acting.
And he's got
He was the voice of
What
Red
If,
Skull in the
Invincible,
MCU.
Avengers, Lego Star Wars, X-Men '97. So yeah, he's good. He's got a pretty good amount on his track record. Comic guests, I don't know much about comics, so there's not much here for me.
Let me see. There's not that many there. Yeah, I don't see. There's like maybe one person.
The biggest reason why I'm going is because of one man.
Dude, Timothy Zahn is an awesome dude.
That's the reason I'm going.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude.
I've been waiting since for a couple of years for him to go.
Taking all your books or just one for him to sign?
Well, I thought I had more of his books here, but I guess I didn't have too much of his physical media, so I might have to get some books directly from him. But
Yeah, I was going to say, just buy a hardcover. Buy a hardcover.
Yeah. The biggest thing is going to be having to carry that shit for the rest of the day. So I think I'm going to do that on Friday to get it out of the way.
Get over it.
I have my backpack
Dude,
with
just
me.
buy Hair to the Empire, brother.
The biggest thing is the weight of them, right? And then it's the hardcovers are going to have the paperback on them, right? And I don't want to put all those paperbacks in my backpack and rip them up. That's the
Take care of Soul Assassin.
But that's it. That's all I wanted to show.
Yes, dude. Yeah, that's great. Anytime you get to meet one of your heroes,
Dude, he's an awesome dude to me. When I met him, I talked with him for like 20 minutes to a half hour about just Star Wars.
He's got a couple side panels too that I'll be going to as well. So
don't be like everybody else and ask him about Cobra. Oh my god.
No. I see. No, I was
I don't know much about his other books, but yeah.
Okay, guys, look, I got to cut this short. You guys know what my schedule is. It's on the YouTube channel. Go check it out. We'll be back next week with another episode of State of the Atmosphere. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. We'll talk to you later. These guys used up all my time. Got to cut it short. Pity time. We got to cut it short. Small.
Don't blame me for your long ass outfit.
Medium or long.
Bibas!
Titty Tuesday continues into Wednesday every week on Joe's Atmosphere. We'll see you next time.